Welcome back to Vepr 12 All Day. Thank you once again for tuning in and supporting the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and please support our sponsors. We have a very exciting video for you today. It may be my most important video yet, the very highly anticipated muzzle brake roundup. We're going to be testing a variety of end of the muzzle compensators from all over the world, mostly Russia and the United States. There are a lot of these muzzle brakes out there, and they're used the world over by recreational shooters, top competitors, and a lot of people swear by them because they say that they cut the recoil and the muzzle rise that is associated with these 12-gauge shotguns. Now, if you look on the internet, there has been quite a bit of controversy about these brakes as well. Some people say that end of the muzzle brakes do nothing. Some people say that they do nothing for lighter loads, such as birdshot. Well, today we're going to put all those myths to rest. We're going to smash all the confusion, and we're going to pit a good number of brakes against each other in an all-out brawl and see who will emerge as the victor of the muzzle brake wars. Stay tuned. So as you can see, the variety of brakes here is amazing. I've been very fortunate to work with a few different companies. My good friend Max from 4Range sent me these three. This is an authentic Molot GKO1 and a GKO2. The Sutaev brake, which some people like a lot. I got the GKO3 and the brand new Dissident Phoenix from Dissident Arms. The V6 muzzle brake from Boy Gunz, Pat Harrington, has let me run that for most of the season. And this one right here is from Carolina Shooter Supply that I got from my buddy Josh Fralick. So we really are going to get a good idea of how these guys perform. These are probably your most popular options on the muzzle brake market. A lot of people use them. We're going to see which one's the best. So at this point, I had to film this intro for you guys out of sequence. I was kind of pressed for time to do the actual shooting, and I had to see how it was going to go. So you can see the results are already recorded on that graph, but don't worry, you will have a hard time trying to interpret those. There's no spoilers here. So this was my painstaking process here. I had my camera set up here in a tripod, and we started off with this Vepr 12. This was sent to me by my good friend Michael Whitesides from Dissident. He sent it to me as a loaner to do these kind of videos, do some product testing. And this is a gun with no refinements, no upgrades. It's a stock gun, okay? So we set up my table and my graph, and we rigged it up here in the Tipton gun butler so that it could slide back and forth nice and easily. So what we had to do was first line up the muzzle with the edge of the graph here, okay? We also had to make sure that we made a marking where the muzzle height was so that I could get it in frame and give a good interpretation of that for the view that you'll be getting from the side. Okay, then depending on the brake, the length of it, we made several markings here on the table to make sure that we were returning to the same point over and over again. Obviously the first test we did was a bare muzzle, so that was almost at the edge of the table, with the other ones coming back a little farther. At that point, I made this sweet remote trigger device out of fish tank tubing and bicycle tires, and I'm going to show you how that works. Okay, we have a piece of tire zip tied off here and connected to the bicycle pump so that for every shot I could just give a pump here and set that trigger off. Okay, so that was our process, and every time the sled moved back, I would measure it where the muzzle stopped, okay, and line it up with a stick and make a marking. We did 3 shots each of 3 dram ammo, and then 3 shots each of some 3.5 dram. And here's the ammo that we used. Okay, it's AA Winchester, 1350 FPS, 3.5 dram, 1 ounces. And that's exactly the ammo that I use in competition all the time. and it's got a nice stout recoil impulse. And as far as my 3-dram, I went with the good old-fashioned Federal bulk pack ammo. Okay, can't get enough of this stuff. This is just all around great ammo, and it's what you would call you know, kind of your low energy all-purpose load that a lot of people say does not even make any use of these compensators. So we're going to run the footage now and show you how the test went. Bare muzzle, 3-dram, take 1. Bare muzzle, 3-dram, shot 2. Bare muzzle, 3-dram, shot 3. Three-dram with the naked muzzle is very consistent. You can see the 3 lines I drew. It's a total of 20 inches of travel to the rear. Bare muzzle, 3.5-dram, shot 1. Bare muzzle, 3.5-dram, shot 2. Bare muzzle, 3.5-dram, shot 3. So the 3 longer lines are the 3.5-dram, showing a little less consistency than the Federal, ranging from 18 to almost 20 inches of travel. First up for testing, we have an authentic Molot GK01, designed by Vsevolod Illyn in Russia. This one is known all around the world for its effectiveness, time-tested, used by champions, and machined by Molot themselves. This has been copied by many people, but we have an authentic one from Molot with the 4 gills and the 3 slots on the side. Let's fire it up. GK01, 3-dram, shot 1. GK01, 3-dram, shot 2. GK01, 3-dram, shot 3. Okay, with that GK01, 3-dram equivalent, we're seeing a total travel of 13 to 14 inches. GK01, 3.5-dram, shot 1. GK01, 3.5-dram, shot 2. GK01, 3.5-dram, shot 3. Okay, with the 3.5-dram, it's pretty much identical, if not a little less consistent again. So right in that 13 to 14 inch area over 3 shots. We're going to throw a bit of an outlier into the mix. This is the Sutaev brake. A lot of people love this brake. Some people say it's even more effective than the GKs, but others say, of course, that claim is exaggerated. A little bit unconventional with the big ports before the gills extending from the muzzle. A little more stylish according to some people. Definitely beefy and with excellent quality machining, and a little easier on the budget. we'll see how the Sutaev performs. Sutaev, 3 dram, shot 1. Sutaev, 3 dram, shot 2. Sutaev, 3 dram, shot 3. Look at that. Very consistent and almost identical to the GK01. This is where it's starting to get pretty exciting. Really see what these brakes can do. And you'll notice I'm not commenting on the muzzle rise. It's because I'm not able to just sit here and review my footage as we go. I'll have commentary on that later. Sutaev, 3.5 dram, shot 1. Sutaev, 3.5 dram, shot 2. Sutaev, 3.5 dram, shot 3. There's a 3.5 dram right in that same area, going upward there. 13 to 14 inches. Now we have this guy, the controversial, the hotly contested Carolina Shooter Supply GK01 copy. All right, it has the slots on both sides of the brake, and like the Ukrainian military equipment brand brakes, it has 5 gills instead of 4. Big shout out to my boy Josh Fralick for letting me borrow this for the test. And it looks like these ports on the right side are slightly bigger to offset that right-sided recoil. So let's see how this bad boy performs. Carolina GK copy, 3 dram, shot 1. Carolina GK copy, 3 dram, shot 2. Carolina GK copy, 3 dram, shot 3. All right, good job, copycats. We got the best performance so far in terms of rearward travel. Okay, that's between 12 and 13. Let's try 3.5 dram. Carolina GK copy, 3.5 dram, shot 1. Carolina GK copy, 3.5 dram, shot 2. Carolina GK copy, 3.5 dram, shot 3. All right, I'm impressed. Very consistent with the 3.5 dram, and right there, about a little over 11 inches of travel from the copycat Carolina brake. Hats off to him. Next up, the GK02. Same by Vsevolod Illyn. This is the next step in the GK series up from the GK01. Supposed to be a lot more effective. We'll find out. And again, this is a genuine Molot, not a copy. GK02, 3 dram, shot 1. GK02, 3 dram, shot 2. Okay, So this test is going a little too well, guys, okay? It's almost as if everything that is supposed to be happening is happening. So I want to, in this frame, show you what we got going on, okay? I'm making different marks on the table to make sure that we have the same starting point, and I'm measuring with my stick to get that same frame of reference, okay? Also, I'm marking and measuring with my stick on this board where it ends up. So we're going to do one continuous take here to really illustrate my process, okay? So first, I have to line it up. Now I've measured that the brake is in line with that edge marking, the end of the graph, so to speak. I've also measured that it's in line with the bottom of that big black mark. Okay, now we're going to fire this off. I'm going to take a look back at what we got going on. So this is GK02 with 3 dram, shot 3. Okay, now let's move up on this puppy and show you what we got going on. Okay, bear with me now. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the stick and I'm measuring it dead across. Okay, so that's nice and even, and that's how I'm getting my marking there. Okay, so let's see what I'm marking here. So the edge of this, make sure it's nice and straight, and we're going to mark here like that. Okay, and you can see the GK02 has turned in the best performance yet. Okay, this is going to be right just a little less than 11 inches. GK02, 3.5 drams, shot 1. GK02, 3.5 drams, shot 2. GK02, 3.5 drams, shot 3. Okay, there we are. I may have misspoke earlier. Those lines are right at around 12 inches, not 11. But so far, the GK02 is in the lead. With the 3 dram, we had it right between 11 and 12. And then 3.5 dram, it's going to average right in this middle mark or so, little over 12 inches. The 3.5 dram marking is right about neck and neck with the CSS, but clear lead in terms of the 3 dram ammunition. Next up, we have the 3rd generation of Illyn's brakes, the GK03, straight from Russia, hot on the market. This is machined by Custom Guns, and it is lighter, shorter, less gills, less ports. It's supposed to be the very zenith of muzzle brake technology for these AK shotguns. Will it perform? Let's find out. GK03, 3 dram, shot 1. GK03, 3 dram, shot 2. GK03, 3 dram, shot 3. Okay, so the performance here is not earth-shattering, all right? It's right about neck and neck with the GK02, but that's not to take anything away from this brake. There's definitely something to be said for doing what you did in a lighter, more compact package. Okay, so we'll see how it does with a 3.5 dram. GK03, 3.5 dram, shot 1. GK03, 3.5 dram, shot 2. GK03, 3.5 dram, shot 3. Alright, so that's what the GK03 did with the 3.5 dram. And if I zoom out, this is where we were at the GK02. Next up, we have the Phoenix muzzle brake from Dissident Arms. This is the newest, hottest brake on the market, and it is going on all of the top of the line Dissident Arms builds right now. It's got the 4 ports, the 3 big gills on the sides, and the slots. It still comes in a nice little package, a light package, and I actually have their lock ring coming in the mail. It's a nice light lock ring, which actually saves you a little bit of weight as well, and we're going to see just how good it performs. Dissident Arms Phoenix 3 dram, shot 1. Dissident Arms Phoenix 3 dram, shot 2. Dissident Arms Phoenix 3 dram, shot 3. Alright, so our 3 shots of 3 dram with the Dissident Phoenix ended up between 13 and 14 inches back of rearward travel. Dissident Arms Phoenix 3.5 dram, shot 1. Dissident Arms Phoenix 3.5 dram, shot 2. Dissident Arms Phoenix 3.5 dram, shot 3. And here we see the 3.5 dram for the Dissident. That's going to be right at about 14 inches. And now our final contender, V6 muzzle brake from Pat Harrington at Bad Boy Guns. Made in America. This is a prototype aluminum version, weighing in at only 4 ounces and boasting a 80% reduction in a recoil and a complete reduction in muzzle rise. Let's see how that holds up. V6 brake, 3 dram, shot 1. V6 muzzle brake, 3 dram, shot 2. V6 muzzle brake, 3 dram, shot 3. Okay, for the V6 brake, these are 3 dram shots right here. These 3, it's averaging right here between 15 and 16 inches of travel. V6 muzzle brake, 3.5 dram, shot 1. V6 muzzle brake, 3.5 dram, shot 2. V6 muzzle brake, 3.5 dram, shot 3. And this is a 3.5 dram with the V6. A little better, actually, than the 3 dram.